Welcome back. This is Arunava Chaudhuri and you are live on my YouTube channel, Arunfoot. Today I want to continue with the future of Indian football, a series that I've started a few days ago to talk about my ideas, my approaches on how we can improve Indian football in the short, mid and long term. Today, I want to talk about the importance of the stakeholders in Indian football. Then very often when we talk about Indian football and its problems, we point the fingers at the All India Football Federation. The federation doesn't do this, the federation doesn't do that, they should do this, they should do that, why don't they do this, why don't they do that? It goes on and on and on and on. And certainly, the AFF have a very, very important role to play in all of this. And I link it to an earlier video which I did under the title of leadership. The AFF need to show leadership and need to control the overall happenings in Indian football, give the roadmap of what happens, as I say, in the short, mid and long term, give a vision on where we want to take Indian football in the years to come. But without the stakeholders and the support of the stakeholders, nothing can happen. And very often in Indian football, stakeholders are very selfish, care very often only about themselves and not about the overall picture. Who do I mean by stakeholders? When I talk about stakeholders, I speak about the state associations, I speak about the district, about the city associations, I speak about the clubs, the franchisees, I talk about the academies, the football schools, the football centers, everybody involved in the game. The media has its own part to play. The fans have their part to play in all of this. But again, as I say, very often these different groups care about their own little things and forget the overall picture. Again, leadership from the AFF is needed, but the stakeholders need to play their part. The AFF needs to create the framework, needs to create the pathway of how players, be it boys or girls, can develop into senior players for men's or women's teams. And how do you do that? You start at grassroots, continue at youth level, then continue, of course, into the senior level. And the stakeholders are very important. Why? Because unlike, some people think the players are mainly developed at the clubs or at academies, football schools and football training centers. So they are key stakeholders in the development of Indian football talent. If the basics aren't taught right at the right age, as early as possible, we see what we very often now see as an end product, even in the senior national team, men's and women's, that our players sometimes lack the basics. And now, at 22, 25, at 30, other players are going to be able to learn the basics. It's too late. So therefore, the stakeholders, all of them, have an important role to play in the development of a player. And that's something which, as I say, very often in Indian football is forgotten. It's a blame game. They have done this wrong. They have done this wrong, And that is something where the stakeholders need to come together, need to work together. There I again say leadership is needed from the side of the AFF to bring everybody together and say, listen, this is what we want to work on. Do we have an Indian football philosophy to work on? So these are things which are all interconnected, which can, if they work together, if they work minutely together, and you can create a puzzle. At the end, you have a final product, and that final product is a senior level player in the men's and women's game. What do you guys think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you have maybe some other thoughts in regard to what the role of the stakeholders should be? As always, like this video, share this video, subscribe to Arunfoot here on YouTube, on my other social medias, as well as visit arunfoot.com. And I'll be back very, very soon. This is Arunava Chaudhuri signing off. Bye for now.